The internet site Meat Quotes credits John Cleese for saying, "If God did not intend for us to eat animals, then why did he make them out of meat?" Good question, but many of us don't feel the same way. Vegetarians don't consume poultry, fish, or beef products, and many of them are against meat consumption for specific reasons. The debate on meat consumption, to eat or not to eat, is a hot topic, and three issues, heart disease, cancer, and adverse environmental impact of meat consumption, are at the heart of the controversy. Vegetarians are concerned that eating meat causes heart disease because it contains fats known to raise the levels of bad LDL cholesterol. Many also claim that meat consumption leads to cancer. Additionally, many are concerned that eating meat is bad for the Earth's environment. Are these concerns valid? According to Lee, health experts agree that meats high in saturated fats increase bad LDL cholesterol, which in turn contributes to heart disease. As for cancer, the argument focuses on studies that have found links between meat consumption and cancer, also according to Lee. The studies compare cancer rates of vegetarians and consumers of meat. The environmental claim is largely based on the fact that livestock emit carbon dioxide, and carbon emissions deplete our ozone layer, contributing to global warming. There's no disputing this fact, so it's easy for a reasonable person to agree with these health and environmental concerns. Of course, there are two sides to every issue. On heart health, many meat eaters claim that when consumed within reason, meat does not present a risk of heart disease. They further believe that all meat consumption has not been proven to cause cancer. Regarding the environmental impact, cultivating livestock doesn't have to present a danger to the Earth's environment. Now, the defense of meat regarding heart health centers around the type and quantity of meat consumed. Meats lower in saturated fat are safer to consume than those with high fat content. White or poultry meat generally contains less saturated fat and are considered healthier than red. As far as cancer is concerned, the argument relies on studies that analyze people's diets and ties their incidence of cancer to their diets, according to Lee. So it's more of an analysis of illness trends relating to diet than how meat causes cancer. As far as the environment, according to Simon Fairley in Meat, a Benign Extravagance, statistics on livestock carbon emissions may be accurate but lack context. He points to a 2006 press release by Alan Calvert claiming that 21% of all human-generated carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere comes from livestock. The statistic looks like a breakthrough for some vegetarians who urge vegetarianism as the solution to global warming, but Fairley points out that the increase is not a net gain of 21% in greenhouse emissions. In fact, livestock that emitted carbon dioxide also ingested it, completing the carbon cycle. This means they only emitted what they ingested and did not add carbon dioxide to the environment. Therefore, one could make the case that consuming the right kind of meat in moderation mitigates the prospect of heart disease. Eating poultry with low saturated fat content provides essential vitamins and nutrients, according to the Australian Heart Foundation, so one could make the argument that eating lean meat has more health benefits than risks. The environmental risk that livestock cultivation poses is of concern. However, additional greenhouse emissions from livestock are negligible, if at all. So if we control our consumption of meat, we could contain the size of the meat industry. This would decrease the massive number of livestock being farmed. In this way, we could enjoy the health benefits of meat consumption and avoid the health and environmental risks. In summary, concerns about heart disease, cancer, and the environment are valid. But there is common ground to be found. If a consensus could be reached, it might look like this. For heart health, it's best to stay with low saturated fatty meat such as poultry and don't eat too much. This will also work for cancer. Studies cited earlier primarily focused on red meat but showed no correlation between cancer and ingesting red meat. Scaling back our consumption habits will lead to less livestock cultivation, reducing greenhouse emissions that might be attributed to raising livestock. So we can find common ground. The world can continue to eat meat in a moderate, healthy manner without substantially increasing greenhouse emissions or endangering our health.